Baby, have I got a story for you? Sorry, I just watched Vox Machina and I cannot stop singing like that bard. I'm sure you remember Game of Thrones, one of the most influential TV shows to ever be made. A fantastic first 3 seasons and the rest were kind of meh. It spawned off some of the world's biggest stars in television and film. Obviously, you have Aquaman, Booyah, Emily Clarke, I forget her name. Arguably, one of the people to benefit the most from this program was Peter Dinklage, the actor who played Tyrion Lannister. Iconic, bro. Iconic. However, you'll be surprised to learn that he's become a bit of a, well, I would say arsehole? Because Mr. Dinklage seems to have forgotten the struggles. Look, man, it's hard enough to become an actor, let alone become a little person actor. I would know because I'm 5'7". Shocking, I know, it's something I've had to deal with my entire life. As a certified little person myself, I know that heightism is real. Especially in film where the competition is so stiff. Let's be real here, sometimes you can pull all of the right faces and say all of the right words, but your height is still going to be an issue towards the roles that you can fill. Obviously, I don't mean me because everybody loves me and I'm super cool, but people under the height of 4 foot don't typically get cast in traditional roles. And that's not me saying that, that's evidenced by Hollywood. Bro, in your mind right now, name another actor besides Peter Dinklage and Wee Man who is famous as a little person. How many little people can you mention off the top of your head that have broke out in success? And even if they do, it's only after years and years of being in the industry and cutting their teeth on everything they can get. Until you're like Mr. Dinklage and luck out, where a role is written specifically for you. And you kill it, man. He's a great actor. But because he killed that role in Game of Thrones, it now allows him to go and do other movies where it doesn't matter about his height. Roles like I Care a Lot, where his height wasn't even the focus of the movie at all. It wasn't even mentioned, which was fantastic. Or The Boss, a comedy movie. I would just like to deeply apologize for my comments in saying that a Melissa McCarthy movie is a comedy in any way, shape or form. I understand that would have triggered some of my viewers or audience. I am deeply sorry if I offended you and your sensibilities anyway. I'm again, very sorry. Even that new terrible movie Cairo, where he is the star in spite of his height difference. So that's why it's so frustrating to see him deny work to other little people. As said by in this article, Peter Dinklage criticizes Disney for backwards remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh my goodness, that sounds absolutely terrible. What did Disney do that was so offensive? Actor who has a form of dwarfism says the studio's pride in casting a Latina Snow White is undercut by stereotypes retained elsewhere. Well, surely, like, if Peter Dinklage, the world-renowned actor, says so, it must be something very serious. I could only imagine. Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage has taken aim at Disney for what he called a fucking backwards forthcoming live-action adaptation of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Dinklage, who stars in Joe Wright's new film Cairo, that's what it's called, not Cairo, or whatever I called it, accused the studio of double standards by attending to racial diversity in its cast, but falling back on damaging stereotypes. I was a little taken aback. The fact that they were proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, Dinklage told podcaster Mac Marone. But you're still telling a story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yes, it's a classic children's book, what do you mean? Dinklage, who has a form of dwarfism called... Oh, wow. No, I can't read that one. Okay, so it's a form of dwarfism. How do you pronounce that? There's no way. Pronounce?
Achondroplasia. A.
Okay, well, I don't need the whole sesame condescending achondroplasia, you asshole. Continued by saying Disney should have stepped back and reassessed the project. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fuckward backward story of 7 dwarfs living in a cave. What the fuck are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. What? What are you talking about? It's not about dwarfs in a cave, it's about miners. What do you mean? Dinklage added that they were so proud of that and all the love and respect to the actress and the people who thought they were doing the right thing, but I'm just like, what are you doing? Dinklage added that had a cool progressive spin been put on a fairy tale, he would have been all in. I don't think Dinklage has read the story. What are you talking about? They're miners who work in a cave and rescue a girl in distress. I don't understand what's so offensive. They're not making fun of little people in the story, even the original. It just so happens that 7 little people men work and live together and they go out and mine. I have never come across a commune of little people that live together and mine coal. What are you talking about? Even their names aren't even offensive. It's just like different type of occupations and I don't know, emotions? Doc, grumpy, happy, sleepy, bashful, sneezy, and dopey. Okay, dopey I could see, for sure. What about the other 6? Disney has since responded in a statement to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film. We are taking a different approach with these 7 characters and have been consulting with members of dwarfism community. We look forward to sharing more as the film heads into production after a lengthy development period. Bro, you're offended before the movie even came out. You have no idea what they were gonna do. This is what I'm trying to say though, dude. You haven't seen the thing. You haven't talked to anyone involved in the thing. You're just mad at the fact that it's a movie about dwarfs. I get it. It must be hard being a dwarf oak. Honestly, I can get it. I don't understand it because I've never lived through it. Besides being 5'7". Why are you so angry? Because of your comments as a major star, and I mean mega star, you put this film in severe risk of being cancelled and possibly costing 7 dwarf actors roles. Do you not think that's selfish? I think that's just a little bit fucked up. You're there on your soapbox talking about dwarfism rights and, you know, I've done a lot to advance the cause. But then as an activist in the cause, you don't stop and think for a second. Let me talk to some of the actors involved in this project. Do they personally feel offended by it? And if not, then why the fuck should I say anything? And some people will say, well, why should he have to do that? Well, because if he's such a good dwarfism activist, he would take the time, do the research, make outreach to other dwarf actors that he's such a proponent of, and speak to them and see how they feel. What's right for you isn't going to be right for someone else, you ass. It's like taking 5 steps forward and then you took a fucking 1.5 miles run backwards. Just because you were upset for the sake of being upset. Oh, and look, I was right. They did cancel it for a minute. Dwarf actors have reacted furiously to Disney cancelling the 7 Dwarf from its Snow White remake after Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage called them offensive. Or as this article points out, the actor Dinklage, who makes $1.2 million per episode of Game of Thrones. Speaking to DailyMail.com after Disney's decision to rethink characters, multiple actors and agents said that there are plenty who would have happily accepted the jobs that Dinklage, a Golden Globe winner who was paid $1.2 million per episode of Game of Thrones, said were backwards. I might stop there for a second. I don't think Disney even did anything. I think they said they're rethinking to seem like more PC. But I think that they went ahead with making the movie anyway. Hang on. Yeah, Disney Snow White, they're still doing it. Although we're not even sure if little people are involved in this movie anymore. Anyways, you get where I'm coming from. This is silly. This guy who, yes, did a lot. He did a lot. You know, without him, I don't think little people would get as many roles as they do. Then he stood up, grabbed a piece of paper with his very cool status on it, and wiped his ass. And flung it at all of the other people who want to make it just as big as you. I do think it was a piece of shit move, honestly. That's all there is to it. Fuck Peter Dinklage. I'm so sorry you guys missed out on so much work. And you know what you have to do. Subscribe!